Welcome back to Transport Fever 2. I am Railroad Tycoon River, and today I am not the master of video recording, which could have a couple benefits to you guys. Normally, what you see is what you get. If I'm learning or being dumb, you get the full brunt of it, but I didn't record the episode I thought I was recording, so I went back to my game save and started over again. So one of the things I realized is that this episode would get a bit long. So where I'd like to show you guys all my track building, I did go up here and I built a double track all the way up to McAllen up here. Let's zoom out where you can see McAllen, with the idea that this station will be for our tools, right? So I didn't do too much more. I just put a signal there, and that'll save us a little bit of time. It was a little, nothing real. I just kind of squeezed past these mountains here as best we could, and then kind of stuck close to these because in the future I definitely want to start getting coal and taking advantage of this. So it's kind of like swung a little bit. You know, I would have gone more directly this way had I not wanted to pick up those in the future, maybe. So in any event, here we are, and like I said, I have a little bit of a foresight as to what I want to do, more than I would normally. And you know, I was trying to work out this station, and I definitely want to come in here and configure this to add another train track. The reason is, at first what I was thinking was that we would take tools from all the way up there and go down to, here, let's get out of this mode, go up to Garden Grove here with the tools. But I noticed this was actually before I started recording, I noticed this, just looking around, refreshing myself. Rochester needs tools as well, and I think it might be a little bit easier to get things going over to Rochester, even though it won't be the most direct route. It's going to be like a long run. So what I was thinking of is we would bring tools down from here and bring them to Norfolk North here, and then some of the tools could go down to Garden Grove, and then other tools could come over and go to Rochester. Right, rather than building a line straight from here to here. Now, maybe one day we will, because we do have goods that would come in here and give us stuff. So we might one day build a line that would cut that out. But for now, you know, I think we're better off putting a double track on here. And I would like to put another platform. Now, I'm still not 100% sure how these platforms work, but I'm going to assume that, like right now, we're going to drop off, like I would assume, and this is what happened in the last episode, is that all the lumber went to here. Now, when I say that, it's like I got like 3/4 through the last episode when I realized I wasn't recording. So, you know, I don't know everything that's going to happen at the very end, but I want to set it up so that the logs get dropped off on this side and the lumber seems to fill up on this side. And then I'm going to try to get it to where the tools go on this side. Now, I don't know how separate that needs to be at this exact moment. But having said that, let's get out of that mode. So we got our double platform now. I want this line to be able to tie into this line, right? So that they can come from Rochester, because this line, I don't know that we need that long of a run in. We might cut it shorter. And it's actually not attached right now. So we have to change the way we're doing those logs a little bit. We'll bring them around this way and then in to the track that's on the right hand side here. So let's come here and let's just come out a little bit. Now, I don't want to slow down too much, but you should be going kind of slow when you get in there anyway, a lot of times I think. Right, so now what I would also like to do is so right here the train can come in and out, right? But we also need to get this train over onto this other track as well. But I was thinking having a bit of a staging here might not be a bad thing. And we already kind of built the track. Now, I don't know that the cost of building that track justifies it, but I would think that if somewhere like in this neighborhood, that would be plenty for like the longest train we would ever want, right? And then so at this point, we would do, Yeah, I definitely want it faster, but I think that signal may get in my way. Yeah. I want that signal there necessarily. Okay, good. I didn't delete too much. I want to make this kind of long so it's a nice sweeping. Like, where am I at? Yeah, so like if we had a signal here-ish, you know, like in this neighborhood here. Let's just keep the speed up above 80 on a lot of our turns if we can not have them limited. I don't think it costs us that much extra, right? So that means that this bit of track is kind of extra. Now, when it comes to them coming back out, I would think we would want to do it from here, right? So they're going to be coming back out this track. You know, they're just going to go into this station and come right back out. Can we jump all the way over to this one? No, you don't really like that. Alright, let's go a little further. Sometimes it... Come on. Give it to me. Yeah, it's not liking that. See what I mean? I want to get him... When he comes out here... Well, he'll be coming out here. I guess we could jump maybe from here. But I want to go over... There you go. Right. And I don't think his speed's going to be up that high. Mess up that train. Alright, so then we would have a signal here. Alright, so the train could sit in this portion here, and then we would delete the rest of this. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing, but... Alright, so that would just be like a siding for the tool train, just in case we ever had two. And probably don't need it, but we sort of already built it. And then... Right, and then this one would be our logs train. Yeah, maybe come back one more. Right, and we would take this guy kind of parallel. And again, this is where foresight comes in. Right, but what I want to do now is this. I want the logs to come in on this one, right, and go back out. So what I'm thinking of is we have, you know, something like this for the logs one, right? And there's no real reason that absolutely. So now we have to attach that back up over there. See how this is the foresight part. I'll keep that a little bit short. I didn't really notice the speed of that. That's all right. Let's go back over this way a little bit more. Right, and I should be able to just attach that up. Yeah, it looks pretty reasonable. Right, so that for now, that'll just be one train. If we have to double track it, we will, but he'll be able to come in here, and he'll need a signal over here. So I think that gets us our tracks in and out of here from Rochester. Now the other thing, oh, and by the way, I realized this. I'm leaving this in here because this was a mistake I had made. In order for without building any more track up this way for our depot, the train that's going to be our log train can come over to here and switch to this track and then head out to the right way. Otherwise, he gets stuck in this station on the wrong track, and I had to rebuild this. So now he can come in there, and then... So we'll have to keep that in mind, too. Well, that'll be good, too, for our... Yeah, and for our lumber train, which we take going up to McAllen up there. So now the other thing I'd like to do is think about how we would get over to Grove City, right? Like if I came here, can I go across all of this mess? Yes. Right. I just wanted to put that in for the sake of remembering. So the train that's coming from Grove City to pick up tools is going to use this track here. I won't build any more because it'll just cost us money. But I kind of wanted it in there when I went to do my signaling, right? So that's going to let him come in on this track as well. And then if we have to have a siding or just a place for him to stop, it'll be like somewhere over here. Does that make sense? Now, in the future, we might want to bypass this whole thing. So we might end up coming like down here and around this way, because we're going to have trains that aren't going to want to go into this station, that are going to bring things like iron and coal and sprockets from there, and vice forward back over to here. But that's a little bit of a future worry. Hopefully I won't cost ourselves too much for not knowing what the future holds. But there we go. So let's put a little bit more signaling in. So I know we're almost certainly going to need a signal here. And I think if we don't have a signal coming into this, then this guy will sit here and wait if there's a crossing train. And yeah, I guess we signal this one this way, right? And then we'll need another one for when this guy comes out. Do we just put it here? Yeah, that'll... Yeah, I think here will cover that. Then in the future, we'll probably need one here, too. Or do we need one here already? Yeah, we'll put it in. All right, so do we have one? Yeah, that one's coming this way. This one, yeah, this way. I think that's pretty good signaling. It's a little hard to see the signaling. It would be nice if it sort of showed you a little better on YouTube. I noticed that when I watched a replay. Well, there we go. So now that should get us in and out of here, I hope. Like I said, it's sort of the second time I'm doing it. Now this, I didn't finish this because I wanted to build this together, but yeah, let's not put signals in. I want to just parallel this track. And really want to allow for longer trains, right? So like here we have a nice long train length, so I don't want this to be right on top of it, but I don't want it to be too far away. So I'm thinking we put the crisscross. Plus this is all very curved, and then there's sort of a bit of a straight here. So I'm hoping that we can get it in. I'd like to keep it a little bit faster. Let's see if that's... There you go. All right, and then we're definitely going to want at least a signal right here for coming in. Going out doesn't matter as much. But let's signal this up. And here's what I'm doing. I don't know if this is the best way in the world. This first length, like let's go, I want to get a signal here, because just in case there's another train comes in and, you know, this one clears, because we're going to have two different trains doing different things, and who knows how many others might come in here in the future. But if we were to put one like here, well, let's go back a little bit. Right now, make sure it's longer than the longest train. There we go. Now what I'm thinking of is try to stay, you know, where this is in the middle of my screen. Let me go a little bit further out, and I'm going to put this first one like the full width of the screen. And then I'm just going to try to keep this, like at the right thing, right? So like this one, I'm going to make a little bit shorter so that each of these is the same distance, but hopefully a little bit shorter than the first one. All right, and we kind of, I shouldn't have scrolled out. All right, a little bit shorter. And a little bit shorter. So I'm using these to kind of make sure I stay in the zone. I think this will be fine, right? And this will just let them keep moving if we get many trains. And I do expect this to be busier. I don't think I necessarily need all of this signaling right now, but I don't think it costs us that much money in the grand scheme of things. All right, a little bit shorter. Oh, and we're there. That's a little bit too short. I'm going to put one like here, just to let us, if they did get back to back, this one will be able to go here before that one goes out. Then I'll do the same thing over here going back the other way, right? So this is where that is. This is about a train length. We can almost, yeah. Go a little bit. And that clears this one. So like if there's a train sitting in here, he's going to wait until that one passes this one. And then I think, is that about the right zoomed amount? Yeah. So we'll This one's going to be the longest, right? Let's go. All right, so that they'll wait a little bit extra long there. They'll get out of that station on the first signal, getting out of the one that wants to go in. And then, just so you know, I'm lining it up a little bit with that no right there. So if I go like this and then put it by the no. All right, and I think that helps you put them, pretty close to the same distance apart, so that they're that way. I call it the accordion effect, right? Where if you have these all at different distances, they like keep stopping the train, which makes it highly. You can tell they're not the same because I'm catching up with those other ones. Oops. Now we're right there. So let's, on this one, let's do the same thing rather than wasting the money and placing it down and deleting it again. So that signal's all the way up here. All right, so let's just put it there where if there's a train coming in, right, we can stage one here before this one goes in. Picture this one unloads, it starts coming out. Well, this one won't go. If there's another one that's then moved up, this one won't go in there until this one clears it out, depending on, does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay, I'll stop asking you if that makes sense. You can tell me if it doesn't. All right, so there we go. So now I think we're in good shape, and we need to create 4 new lines. And let's make them train lines. So the first one that I want to create, I'm going to call logs Norfolk. And as a general rule, what I want to do is whatever we're carrying to whatever location we're carrying it to. So hopefully that'll be clear without having to do, like with the passengers, I don't mind the back and forth, but it gets a little bit long. But hopefully we won't have too much confusion. And then line 2 here, we're going to call lumber McAllen, right? Because that's going to go all the way up to the other end. So we're going to take lumber from here, this station, go up to McAllen. Now this one is going to be tools, and it will be Norfolk, right? Because that's going to bring tools back down to this Norfolk. And then the 4th line will be tools Rochester. Right, and then I just like to, well, let's see. Okay, so we click to add a station. I always like to click on that because it makes me think it's telling you to click. It's not necessarily confusing, but I get. So at Des Moines West here, I like to do this just for the future. We're going to load logs, and then at Norfolk, we are going to unload logs. Right, and I think what I would like to do, again, hindsight being 2020, even though we're just recording this officially for the first time, is I would like to get a train on this ASAP so that we can start seeing the effect of getting some logs over there, right? So hopefully this will go well. Let's get out of that mode. Now, I also know, because I did this, but I'll show you how I came to it. Let me pause it for a second. I like to pause it just so like nothing much happens. And I've noticed it doesn't seem to, oh, we don't want 2 of those. I notice it doesn't seem to make a big difference if you buy them when they're in the depot or not, which is kind of good. But I think I want to put 6 of these on here. Now, I don't really know if this is going to work out in the long run. That's 5, 6, right? 5 times 12 is 60. 5 times 6 is 72. Or I'm saying 6 times 12 is 72. So I think this will be a good size vehicle. And this is what I did before. So we're going to buy it. We're going to assign it to the logs. And then I came over here and I looked. Oh, let's filter down to trains. I came over here and looked. See, 250. Now, just to be honest with you, I think that's going to drop down a little bit. I think this is like the ideal rate if it doesn't have any problems. But they always, like, it's going to be crossing. So there's going to be a little slowness. And I don't mind if this did stay at 250 because we'll have good logs. Remember, we need twice as many of these logs as we do tools in Rochester. And I also eventually plan on going down to Grove City there, but let's just get the Rochester portion going. But we might end up going with either a bigger, longer train. Let's see how it all works out, or 2 trains, which would mean double tracking this. So let's see. It's a little bit of an issue here with that train sitting in this station, and if its butt sticks out here. So I'm not sure what to do about that 100%. So we might just end up with 2 trains for that reason. Probably wasn't the best place to put this station. But in any event, let's play some time forward. And hopefully, let's keep an eye on this vehicle. Good, he's coming out. He doesn't have no path. And like I said, because I left this little track, he's going to be able to get over here. All right, so now Lumber McAllen. Let's start setting that line up. Yeah, now it says add station, so I want to click on this one and call them all the way up to McAllen and click on McAllen. And while I'm up here, I kind of know this is a thing too. Tools Norfolk, right? So I want to add a station, McAllen, and then we'll come down to Norfolk. Now here, let's go back to, let's get the lumber one, not going necessarily, but hopefully we'll be dropping off logs pretty shortly. But when you're in Norfolk North, I want him to come to track 1, right? Because we'll drop the tools off on this side, which is the yellowish colored line there, and we'll drop the lumber off on the, or pick the lumber up on this side, which is where it seems to put it anyway. So again, if you guys know that you can pick it up from the other side, that would be good. But I'm sort of assuming that you can't because, I don't know, it's not that much harder to straighten it out that way. Oh, there it goes. There goes our lumber guy. All right. And so what I want to do is hold off on buying the lumber guy, but we also have one more station to kind of get set up and make sure it works. Or one more line, I mean. So we're going to have Tools Rochester, and I want to add a station. So your first stop will be Norfolk North, and then let's make sure we click on the right one here, right? Yep, and that brings it over to this. If you can kind of see, this is the cargo side. So there's the turquoise kind of color there. So he should be going to that side. And let me do this, right? Just because I like to. So when we're in Norfolk North, we're going to load tools. And then when we're in Rochester, we're going to unload tools. Right, and then let's go to this one. Did we do that? I don't think I did. So when we're in McAllen, we're going to load tools. And then we are going to unload said tools when we get to Norfolk North. Right? And the other ones are done. Right? Did I do the lumber one? No, I didn't do the lumber one. All right, so when we're in Norfolk North, load lumber. McAllen, unload lumber. Cool. I think that's it. Let's get out of that mode because it's ugly and see how we're doing. Do we got any? Now I think one of the other things I noticed, and this is a bit of an assumption on my part, we're not putting any lumber in here, even though we have the line set up. Oh, did we drop off any? We might not have dropped off any yet. It might be much more efficient. Yeah, no, we haven't dropped off any. But I did notice that, and you know what, let's speed up time a little bit to make this happen that much quicker. And just so you know, like building that other line and doing this stuff ahead of time, I'm like 10 minutes quicker getting to this point in the video. So I think we're going to have enough time. We're what, like 24 minutes, 25 minutes in. All right. So let's. And what I would like to do is just at least get all these trains on the tracks. And I'd like to at least get a load of lumber, maybe even 2. Yeah, let's get 2 going. And now the only other thing I think I need to watch out for is I don't want these guys to come head to head. Once that other train gets into here, I think we'll be okay. And then here's where I'll show you. Let's wait for the second load of lumber. But if you notice, well, let's see. Like, we're definitely producing, stored. Now, I don't want it to waste too much here, but I just assume this guy have stuff to do when he gets assigned, right? So if we let this guy do 2 runs back and forth, another thing we'll do is get an idea. Let's pin this over here, of his actual rate, so we can adjust the other guy a little bit to be just below it. There you go. So now if we just let this guy get a little bit ahead, he'll drop off that other load of lumber. Let's let him just about do it. I want to make sure this guy gets into that track without conflicting with this one. All right, so we could probably come in here. We're going to buy... I don't know exactly how this is going to work out. Ooh, what happened there? Yeah, that was probably the train I wanted, wasn't it? Yeah, so let's add the 10-wheeler. Yeah, and we want lumber, so we're still with state cars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try 8, because I know it's a lot longer run, even though he's going to be carrying half as much stuff. This is about where I started out the last time, right? So let's just buy that guy. And then let's let this guy get out of the station, so that way he's got to make a full run while this guy's heading in. Plus, not to mention the fact that'll give a little bit more time to produce more stuff. Hopefully this guy will pick up close to a fuller load. And this is about where I realized I wasn't... When I did this, I went to pause after I set this guy on, and that's when I realized I was then recording. Like, this software that I'm using for this game is a little bit different than the other one. The other one shows me up here that it's like a little red dot, like you might see. Yeah, so let's let this guy leave. Yep, there he goes. So now we should be able to send this guy on the lumber route, and hopefully... So by the way, like if we look, before I did that, there was nothing in there, right? Like so I think that what that means for the tools and all is like the same thing. So in other words, we're not going to start shipping tools till we actually put the trains on there, which is a bit annoying because it probably means that like there is no end result here. I think the reason we're shipping is because there's actually a train going from this all the way up to the drop-off, and I'm thinking the next time I need to put the 2 trains on so that we're good to go, right? So let me pause it for a minute, and this is exactly what I was doing last time, and get this guy to make a couple runs, which even if I fast forward, it'll take a little while, and I'd rather just pause, recollect my thoughts, and then come back, and then we'll put 2 more trains on to start taking tools. Sound good? And that'll give us a good 15, 20 minutes or maybe to just watch the results and maybe check on how other things are doing. And it won't hurt if I build up a little bit more money because I think these are going to be relatively expensive trains. Oh, one last thing to talk about. Look, 86. That's a pretty good ratio, right? You can tell I kind of did that before. And before when I worked it out, I just did the pausing thing and put it on the line and got it pretty close. Now, again, I don't know if this is going to work out in the long run. Just for now, this ratio, 6 to 8 in this particular case, seems to be pretty good. All right, I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Okay, resumed layout, and I just fast forwarded some time. Now this guy is on his way back from having just dropped off his first load up here. So these guys have something to chew on. Consumption 28, suppliers stored. Yeah, see, and he's not dropping off any over to here, right? So I think what we need to do is get some consumers going. And the only way to do that is going to be to buy these 2 trains. So since these 2 are going to be kind of in time with each other, what I was hoping to do is after this guy dropped off, we'll get this train started. So let's go ahead. I don't know. This is where now my foresight is not so great. So let's buy a vehicle, and I think we'll stick with the 10-wheeler, and I think we'll actually buy 2 of these. But now this time, I need to make sure I have the right, to get tools, right? So we're going to get box cars. Okay, let's add the boxcars first. Now, how many boxcars? I mean, if I had to guess, that would probably be a good start, right? So let me pause it for just a second. We're going to buy it, and we're going to assign this guy to tools. Oh, no, no, no. You know what? This one should be the same exact thing as the other. Okay. Yeah, let's come over here. What do we have on the other one? Yeah. We have 8 cars. Let's get 8 cars, right? Because he's going to be bringing the same number of tools back that this guy has for lumber. And you would think they would be on the same stroke. Now, we could always add another one to the lumber, but that should balance it out, you would think. Let's come back in here. Yep, it's still there. So we have, 12 divided in there is 6. So we have 6 cars. Let's do 2 more. All right, now the other one. Oh, we already bought that. Oh, wait. We need to come in here and select this, edit this vehicle, right? So let's add 2 more boxcars. Yeah, there we go. $1 million for 2 more boxcars. All right, so now if we look at this guy's rate, which will be, is he not? Why is Tools Norfolk? What did I do? Train 15. What is train 15? Uh-oh. Oh, he's in the station. Why isn't he? Oh, did I not set him a line? That's what I did. All right, Tools Norfolk. Right, now, yeah. Now we look at Tools Norfolk, 14 minutes, 86. This guy's saying 95. That's kind of good but it should be the same because they got the same exact number of cars. There we go. Now let's stop confusing myself. And then what I want to do is let's just, that guy, I'm going to train 15, return him to the depot, right? Because I want to give, let's set the timing out. Like, can you just reverse yourself into there? Yeah, okay. So let's let this guy drop this stuff off for a minute and then give this guy a little bit of a chance to process it. Like, they don't have to be, like, it's going to take them a little while to get over there, but let's let this guy, get out of the station so that this one is following that one. I don't know how much it matters, but I'd rather, does that make sense that this one would follow? I don't know if they're going to stay separated like that, but yeah, and then let's pin this one real quick, and let's see, what is this guy carrying? Oh, good, he's getting up there. He's not completely full, but how many do we have on here? 8. Yeah, okay. I'm not, never mind. It's 96, okay. Sorry. All right, so he's kind of getting up out of there. Let's see when this guy, so he seems to have already processed it all. So let's start this guy again, right, on Tools Norfolk. Right, and then he'll go up there and start picking up towards Norfolk. Now, this is going to be the painful part in a way, is that we're coming here, buy vehicles, and we have to buy another one. And I think we just have to let this guy run at a low profit so that other guy will pick up tools and bring it back here. And I think we should just get him right on the job, right? So now I'm thinking maybe, to keep the rate the same, it's going to probably have to be at least 8, right? Which would be 96 capacity. No, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, let's just see. I guess it would be better not to buy extra ones. Oh, we're buying the wrong boxcar. That's what it was. All right, I was wondering what was thrown. Yeah, 8 would be 96. 8 times 6 is, all right, we want these. There we go. That makes more sense. Now, let's just go with 10, right? Because I know that that's a longer trip. And again, I haven't worked this out. And all right, let's just pause it. Set this guy on Tools Rochester. Come over here real quick. And Tools Rochester 106. Now, I don't think he's going to maintain 106, but it's saying that the trip time is the same. Really? Oh, yeah, I guess maybe it's not so different. All right, let's go back into the deep, well, let's go back to this line. Yeah, and this one, and this one. Yeah, you know what? He's got the same time, so yeah, good. That didn't really cost us much of anything. All right, so we're just going to put him on 8 at that point and play time. Now, unfortunately, he's going to come out and run over there empty. And I'm not sure, could we pause him? Is that the... Would that still allow for... Like, if he's stopped here, is he going to mess somebody else up coming down the tracks? All right, this guy should be able to get right over onto his. So let me pause time again and let this get going. Now, are we actually shipping, I guess, is the stored consumption, consumers. Yeah, maybe we just need to let him go. All right, we'll just bite the bullet on his running costs. Let me know if you guys know that stopping this guy would be smart or not. Or does it prevent this guy from wanting to ship? Right, we want to see tools sitting in here. And it's definitely colored here, so we should be able to get them. Yeah, there's not 2 terminals. Why? Oh, never mind. It's tools. Why is that 2? Like, I don't understand that 1, 2 thing here. Just 1. Why? I don't know. Or is that just like the number of lines or trains coming in? All right, well, let me pause it for a minute and let's see what happens. But I really want to see some tools getting shipped here. And is it just a matter of time, I'm hoping? Or let's double check something else. Tools Norfolk, manage line. When you're in McAllen, load tools. When you're in Norfolk North, unload tools. Tools Rochester in Norfolk. Oops, wrong one. Load tools. Rochester, unload tools. All right, we already know we're getting lumber up there, so I'm hoping that this system picks up on the fact that we actually want to send tools. All right, let me pause it just for the sake of the length of the video and come back. If I have to change something, I'll probably come back. But we'll see. Let's just see. I want to get this working before the end of the episode, and I think we should be in good shape. Oh, you know what? I want to check one more thing. Are our lines coming to the right? Let's pause this. Yeah, no, they're coming to the right-hand side, or left-hand side in this case. Right, so they're on the left-hand side. This is our Tools Norfolk comes in here. It should be dropping off on this one, if it matters. The other one picking up. Okay, just wanted to check that with you guys. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully we see some tools coming into McAllen pretty shortly. It's making me nervous. All right, see you in a second. Okay, here comes our tools train. Let me open him up. Right, so he should be dropping off some tools. There goes our lumber guy. Look, good, not interfering with each other. And so this guy is bringing tools down from McAllen. Right here, Tools Norfolk line. And we should see some tools, yep, sitting in there. Now, do they go on the other side, or does it matter? Oh, yeah, they're going on this other side. So, again, I'd like to figure that out. I tried to search it a little bit, but there we go. So we have tools sitting on that side. Not too many. Let's open this train station again. Yeah, 11. Not overly impressive there. But if we take a look at... Yeah, let's go back to our train things. So we have 96 lumber heading up to McAllen. So the last trip was weak. So hopefully when this guy comes back again, he will have pretty close to a full load of tools. If not full, then at least close enough. If we look at McAllen, we got 44 tools already, and we have another lumber truck or lumber train heading up there. So now, where is our Rochester line is definitely proving to be slower, even though it estimated quicker, but that gets into another subject that I'm not sure. It's going to be a few days before I record another episode, so hopefully I'm not sure exactly when the timing will be, but I've kind of done a lot of these more or less back to back without getting many of your comments, but I definitely want your comments. They help me a lot. So here comes our tools one. Is it better to upgrade all these trains, do you think? Or at least most of them. A lot of them are in bad shape as it is, very bad condition. They're these smaller trains. I'm thinking we should get the bigger cars going, or would we get all of this other stuff built first, right? It's going to cost us a lot of money, I think, to upgrade those trains. Do we start trying to get down to Garden City, or do we or Garden Grove, or do we upgrade this line, which I think the reason I say all that is because the slower trains with the slower rail cars are probably slowing down our Rochester tools. Not the end of the world there, but like in other words, this guy has a top speed of 60, and is he even doing that? Like, could we get him more efficient and then just do some rebalancing anyway, just to go in there and check on those lines? So let me know what you guys think about that. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to catch that comment before the next episode, but I'll stand a better chance. So there we go. So look, we got some tools in here. Let's see how far away this guy is. We'll let him... There he is, yep. So we're losing money. Or did we lose money in our account? Yeah. Well, a lot of that was expenditures, right? We're kind of breaking even so far this quarter. But yeah, so we spent 13 million, 11 million, well in the year, yeah, see, that's where our losses are there. And then the real question will be, what do we do here? Now, as far as the railroad goes, yeah, our track maintenance went way up. I think in an episode or two ago, it was like 300,000, but that's okay. I think we're going to more than make up for it, even with these not being that great. And then what I'm hoping is like I said, the reason for double tracking this is about a lot more cargo going on this. So I'm not too worried. It's not too bad to have double tracked that. And we'll have to see how we get from here over across all this. Maybe we do build a bridge, kind of like on a hill here, which is a bit annoying. And so we'll have to see. I think it would... Yeah, well, we might even just come over to this side and just make it completely separate. But then again, I want to get the tools out of here to go this way. So do we go right through that hill there, which is going to be kind of an issue. But then again, maybe a bridge right over there would make sense, right? We kind of come up that hill for the most part and then take like a bridge right over these tracks. Yeah, that one, I kind of dipped that one down too much, didn't I? Yeah, I could have done that better. Alright, well, should have paid more attention. Alright, so okay, now we're just waiting on trains. Well, good, look, that's what we want to see. Not that we want a traffic jam, but, that is what we want to see, that they're properly signaled, and this one should move forward, yeah, pretty quickly. Now this one won't move forward, train 16 there, until this guy gets past the signal. And do we want to consider... Well, if we don't space them out, then they'll just run into each other again, right? So it's not the end of the world that this guy sits here and waits, because it'll give this slower train a little bit of a chance to get ahead. And see, now this is going to be the problem. This big, long, slow train... This guy's going to keep catching up to him, and he won't be able to go over 60. So let me know, like I said, let me know your opinions. But in order to modify this guy, let's just take a real quick look. Yeah, we won't do this, but if we were to, how much did he have? Cancel. So he had a capacity of 96. All right, so we're just going to get rid of all of these and this and say, well, we should kind of know how much is it going to cost, right? Add a 10-wheeler. Oops, we already got one. Or I double-clicked or something. And then we're going to put the bigger. So we want to be at like 96. So that's going to cost us $6 million just to replace that one train. So we're going to need lots of millions in order to do that. But I'm thinking maybe it's smarter to just start upgrading all of those. And then we can also take a look at the same time, like, is that line even, like, I can see he's not full as it is. Oop, wrong train. Oh, good. We're getting a few tools up there. Where did he go? There he is. All right, he's really not full at this moment anyway, and that's not a good thing. So we might have to readjust. Yeah, it's not. I don't understand why or did they just not have enough? Yeah, they're not doing the best job of getting down here and getting this. Yeah, there's 2 trains, which is, maybe we just need to shrink them up. They don't need 14 cars. Consumer 70, Rochester. Yeah, maybe 96 is just too much. Let's just take a look at the finance. Well, we're making good money on it. It might just be a hit or miss kind of thing where I'm just, I mean, this is fine. Like, it's not breaking my heart to see that kind of money. But we'll rebalance those things. You guys get the idea, I hope. All right. Oops. Let's close this. And there we go. So do we pick up more tools to bring down? What is this guy? This is the lumber train coming back. How are we doing there? 52. Yeah, so hopefully, and then how many do we have here? Another 11. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, right? And, I don't know how much time I'll let play forward. At least maybe till we can replace some trains, or I'm thinking we might be better off just building this and having enough money to buy a few trains and, I don't know, kind of half dozen of one. Making more money is good, but, like, do we really worry about that Rochester line being a bit slower for the Rochester tools, or Tools Rochester? Or do we just go ahead and start trying to get to the point we can make some sprockets, some machines? All right, well, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.